Welcome to ModMen, the show avoiding your warranty is our business. Hello everybody and welcome to the second episode of the ModMen Show. I'm your host Bill Owen and that is Randy Hill, our machinist back there.
Greetings everyone.
We're going to get right down to business and start milling the main structure of the ModMen PC with the 2-inch thick cast acrylic that I showed you in the last episode. We've also got an update on the Tape of the Gods experiment where I taped the 14.5-pound Dell desktop to the window in my shop, and now my landlord is wondering what the heck is going on. We've also got our first sponsored supply hardware drop, and it's from Outtakes, and they sent Randy a baseball cap, which he's modeling today. Then we're gonna do another tutorial, this time how to do a really cool carbon fiber paint effect that you can do to a mouse, keyboard, a case, or whatever you can.
That's where it went.
I thought I threw this one away.
You should have.
Oh, Windows 95. So anyways, it's a really easy tutorial you can do and it has great results. Randy, have you fed the mill yet today?
No, I haven't.
All right, so let's feed the mill. We've got the main components of our construction back from Randy, and it's the 2-inch thick acrylic. This is the base of our PC tower. This is where the water pump's going to reside. The power supply is going to sit on top. All the cables are going to be routed down here, as well as the water-cooled tubing from the pump. Then here's the main tower. I should say here's the skeleton of it right now. This is going to house the 360 radiator. On the exterior of the tower will go the 1/4-inch thick colored acrylic sheets. Starting with the blue one on this side, this will actually fasten the radiator in place and the hardware on the side of the tower. Then on this side we have the UV green as our core color, and then another sheet of blue on the exterior. We chose that green because you see that cool glow. However, we didn't want to see the green when you look through the blue here. So we're going to either paint that green sheet on the sides or put like a chrome film on it to block that out so you only see the UV green line right here. Now, another thing we still need to do is make a hole for our power switch, which is a bulging stainless steel vandal resistant switch, and it will illuminate some type of color. A majority of the material we're using in the ModMen PC has been acrylic. However, at MNPC Tech, it's not really what we specialize in. We specialize in billet aluminum accessories. So I was looking at the design thinking, what could we replace in aluminum that would be easy enough and then still kind of reflect who we are. The most glaring thing is the optical drive cover. So why not do something in 3/16 inch thick, mill some grooves that follow this arc, so it kind of looks like a heat sink design in a way. And I think that would look better. So I've got Randy standing by the mill right now to make that piece for us.
I drilled and tapped 4 holes that the plate mounts to, and mounted it to this plate. Obviously I got to have something to hold it, and a vise is not going to hold it since the sides are curved.
There it is. Hey, looks good. This still obviously needs to be milled yet for the optical drive bay, but you get an idea, that's what height it will be, and then this will go over that drive bay like this, so it gives you an idea. This will obviously be cut off here. Mm-hmm. Do you have any use for any 2-inch thick acrylic in the future?
No, that's all yours.
Oh yeah, okay. Now these are originally were going to be made from acrylic, but I just thought it'd be cool to use aluminum instead. So we got those guys on. Now those plates will mount, try the smallest one first. There you go. So then we're going to do, there's going to be a 1/4-inch thick blue piece here, and then the body for the optical drive. And I see last time we did an update, we still needed to do a hole, so we got that hole in now.
Yep.
For the Vandal switch, which is countersunk. That looks good. What do we have left? We've got some miscellaneous holes that were missed. He's got the reservoir that we still need to get from him and the brackets. I'm trying to think, is there any?
Hey, I'm Cheapskate. I'm going to be interrupting transmission every once in a while, mostly to annoy and confuse you. So, for the most part, I'll be giving updates on what I'm doing on this side. I've got the core part of the reservoir about 90% done, except for that big hole in the top. And I got this to go on that. I've milled a nice little channel into it, so it fits in there. But I gotta figure out how to get those two lined up. So what I've come up with is I dug around until I found something nice and flat. I'm gonna lay those down, and that sets it up perfectly for the gluing together. Except for the fact that I have to have this like that, and I have to hold that up like that somehow, and I have to get the glue in there, I have to get this moist with the glue, and then I have to get that on there, and I'm kind of short on hands.
Just enough to hold it.
So that's where we're at, and in the next episode, we'll show you how much more we've progressed. So stay tuned. This is the Dell PC that we taped to the window. It's now day 12 that it's been stuck to the window. It helps keep the window down for security reasons. Another security measure is the chain link fence that I had installed outside the windows. Now, when I first got into this shop, the area is kind of iffy. Yes. Luckily, there's a police station just a few blocks away, but I just kind of, for security reasons, I thought, you know, can you do something for the windows, beef up the security a bit? Because there's a lot of people out there that do want custom 80mm fan grills, and they don't want to pay for them, you know, and we've got some real exclusive ones. So, just one of the things that we do here to keep it secure. Check this out. We've got our product drop from Zotac for the Modman PC build. They even gave me this baseball cap too. Awesome. Thank you, Zotac. But this is what's the coolest. It's their H55 ITX motherboard. This little baby packs a lot of power. It takes a socket LGA 1156 processor, Core i7 we can run on this little guy. Then it's got 2 DDR3 memory slots. It will take up to 8 gigs of memory. It also has 12 USB 2.0 headers on it and 2 3.0 USB headers on it. Check out all these ports on the back. I've got plenty of options. We got HDMI on here as well. It's got the 7.1 onboard audio, and it's got the Intel Express chipset, but you know what's best of all? Right here, it's got a PCI Express x16 slot for the big beefy video card we're gonna run, which is also by Zotac. This is awesome. Thanks, Zotac. Here are the tools and supplies needed to create a simulated carbon fiber effect on your mouse. Starting with one fugly looking mouse, a Phillips screwdriver, red Scotch-Brite pad, a tack cloth, black matte vinyl paint, a non-slip tool mat cut down to size, dark charcoal gray enamel paint, enamel clear coat, masking tape, and then finally a filtered ventilator mask for using the paints. There's typically one screw that holds it together, and it's in the back underneath the label. Then the trick is pulling it apart, and there's 2 pegs that go in the slots on the front, but you have to be careful so you don't snap them off. There we go. It's as simple as that. We want to keep your buttons with the shell because you want the pattern to be consistent when you paint it. So keep these together. The first step now is to prep the surface using the Scotch-Brite pad. And what this will do is allow the paint more surface bite. Then we just take our tack cloth and wipe away any extra dust from the surface. Now we're ready to apply our first coat of paint, and it's actually a vinyl dye paint, and this is a matte black color. But before we do that, make sure you're wearing your filtered ventilator mask. I've applied 2 coats of the black vinyl paint, and they were in 15-minute interval, and the paint has cured for an hour, so it's now ready to be handled. We'll be wrapping the non-slip mat over the piece before we paint our next color. This piece was cut to roughly 5 by 7 inches. We're just going to wrap it around as tight as we can. It's very important that you don't have any folds or creases. You want it to be as even and consistent as possible, and this stuff does stretch a little bit. So here's a fold right here. We want to move just to keep it nice and consistent all the way. Now we're ready for our dark gray coat of paint. You want to apply a very light coat of the dark gray paint because if it's too heavy, it's going to pool up in one of the little square openings in the slip mat and it could possibly run. So just do very light coats. We've waited an hour since our last coat of the gray paint. Now it's time to peel back the liner and see what it looks like. Now it's time for the final stage, which is the enamel clear coat. Now you want to wait at least 24 hours for this to cure because it is a bit tacky, and you don't want it to be tacky when you go to reassemble your mouse. It's been 24 hours that we've allowed the enamel clear coat to cure, and now the mouse is ready to handle and reassemble. You get great results with this technique. It's easy to do and it looks really cool. Now you could also apply this technique to your keyboard or your headset or your case or whatever you want. What's more important is I get this back to Randy's desk before he realizes it's gone. Now, in the next episode of ModMen, we're going to show more progress on the ModMen PC build. Also, I've got a guide to show you how to paint your own case, regardless if it's steel or aluminum, with a custom finish without having to spend a lot of money on professional paint equipment or a lot of time on prepping the case for paint. We've also got more tips and guides and an update on the Tape of the Gods test. So until then, I'm your host, Bill Owen, and this has been ModMen.
That didn't last long. Broke the end mill.
This is a monkey jack. Oh, no, that doesn't sound right. This is a monkey eruption? No, that doesn't sound right either. That sounds really bad. Let's see. It's on the internet. So I would make it an E-jack. No. No, I'm not saying that either.